Hey guys, it's Grand Admiral Thrawn, and today I'm doing a who I think are the top 15 villains from the series Gotham. And yeah, so I watched Gotham this year, all of it, and I thought it was a great show. So I'm doing a video about top 15 villains from the series. Number 15, I have Jeremiah. I did not like Jeremiah at first. I only really liked him in the finale episode when he became like Joker because Jerome was crazy like Joker's supposed to be. Jeremiah was like Spock from Star Trek. Not crazy at all. He was just logical, and I hated that because Joker is insane and does crazy stuff. This guy just did smart stuff. But in the finale episode, he's actually crazy and was like Joker, so that earned him 15. Up next, I have Victor Fries, or as you also know, Mr. Freeze. He's not really a main villain of the show. He's got a few episodes dedicated to him, and then other than that, he's just like a side villain who occasionally does some stuff that helps someone else. That's basically it. In his first few episodes, he's pretty good, and then when it's not even about him anymore, he's just bland and boring. So, yeah, that's why he's in 14. Number 13, I have Echo, who legally is not Harley Quinn, but to the show, she's the Harley Quinn of the show. And, yeah, I liked her. She's not better than Margot Robbie, obviously, but she did an okay job for Harley Quinn in the show, and, yeah, so that earned her 13. Number 12, the Court of Owls. They were the main villain of the one season. I'm pretty sure it was 3. Yeah, it was 3. Yeah, 3. Yeah, they were kind of cool, and it was cool to find out that they're the reason why Bruce's parents died. Because they hired the guy who hired the guy. Well, no, the guy who hired the man to kill them worked for them, so yeah. And it was cool to find out how there's an entire group that rules all of Gotham. Number 11, I have Victor Zsasz. Zsasz was just a great threatening villain at first. Then he becomes still threatening, but he becomes more humorous, like he says some funny stuff at moments. Still threatening, though, but when they first introduced him, he was a really threatening character. And I liked him. This is definitely the best version of Victor Zsasz on screen because the one from the DCEU kind of sucked. But anyway, this Zsasz was amazing, so he earned 11, and that could be low, but oh well. Number 10, Scarecrow. Scarecrow was really threatening. Like when he's swinging that thing at Gordon, it's actually like you're watching a horror film. He was that threatening. So yeah, Scarecrow earned number 10 easily. At first I didn't like Scarecrow up until he became the Scarecrow. Like he was just this nerdy kid who then he became the Scarecrow and he was actually kind of scary at moments. Number 9, I have Solomon Grundy / Butch. I prefer Grundy over Butch. And yeah, Grundy was pretty good. I like in the one episode with it was called Why Stop Hitting Yourself, that was it, where he ripped the guy's arm off and was actually beating him with it. But yeah, Grundy was pretty good, and then, Butch is an okay villain, but I really liked Grundy, so he earned 9th. Number 8, I have Mad Hatter, and he was a really good villain in the show, actually, and, how he controls people was pretty good, and how when him and Jerome and Scarecrow team up was pretty good, because that does seem like a great team-up trio. But yeah, Mad Hatter, I liked him because he's got his humor moments, but he's also a good villain who's kind of threatening. Yeah, I liked Mad Hatter in this show, so he earned 8th. Number 7, I have Ivy Pepper. At first, Ivy was just an okay character when the series began. Then as it started to go on more, she was less okay, but then she became good again at the end as a villain. So yeah, Ivy is mixed at moments. She starts okay, then she gets bit worse. Then she goes back to being better. So yeah, Ivy, pretty good character overall. Yeah, I liked Ivy, so she got 7th. Number 6, I have Tabitha. She was a good villain. She's not exactly threatening, but she was good with like how her interactions with Barbara were pretty good. And, yeah, she was just a good character. Speaking of Barbara, she's up next, and yeah, some people might be complaining that I have her on here, but she's more of a villain than she is a good guy. So yeah, she's definitely a good villain. Whenever she's on the screen, she kind of is the star of attention. At first, how she was just a good guy and was dating Jim, then she becomes a villain and was actually a really good villain who has the best plans and is like that. And yeah, that was pretty good. So Barbara earned 15th. Number 4, I have the Riddler, and this is my favorite interpretation of Riddler. Paul Dano's is pretty good, and Jim Carrey's are good, but my favorite is definitely this version of Riddler. Because you learn his backstory, and it's a sad backstory they give him in Gotham. And yeah, he's threatening, his riddles are entertaining, his plans are just extremely not predictable. You don't see it coming until it happens. Oops, sorry. Forget those two that just popped up. But yeah, Riddler, he honestly could have been second if I didn't include another character and count them as a villain. But yeah, Riddler, he earned 4th. He could have had higher, but oh well. Up next, and you definitely did not see it, Jerome. And Jerome was a really good Joker. I honestly think he might be my second favorite version of Joker, first being Ledger. And anyway, yeah, Jerome. At first, I didn't know how they were going to pull him off, and then they did pull him off, and I really liked him. Then they made the dumbest idea to kill him off and replace him with Jeremiah. Jeremiah is not Joker material. He barely becomes it at the very end. Jerome was perfect for the role, and I know it's the same actor, but still. They should have just kept Jerome and never even introduced Jeremiah. Jerome was a great Joker for the show. So yeah. Up next, oops, wrong way. Selena/Cat. Now, she is a villain at moments in the show, so that's why I have her here. But she's more of a good guy anyway throughout the show, but I'm still including her because she's technically a villain. So, yeah, I really liked her portrayal. It's a nice way to see a young Catwoman, and the way that she and Bruce have been childhood friends was pretty good. And, yeah, I just really liked her as Catwoman. She was a good one, and, yeah. Up next, number 1, it's kind of obvious if you've seen the show. Oops, wrong way again. The Penguin. This is the best portrayal of the Penguin, and that may not be saying much, but it is in you've seen. Because Danny DeVito's is kind of, well, meh. And then Colin Farrell's was okay, but this guy, I can't think of his name right now. I think it's like, I don't know, but he is the best Penguin by far, and he's the best villain of the series. He's one of the first ones they introduce, and his backstory and just the story he has through the show. He has his moments like when he became mayor and he was interested in Riddler was weird, but then they got rid of that plot line luckily, and he went back to being Penguin. But yeah, he is an amazing Penguin. He is threatening, he's funny, he's very entertaining to watch. He's an amazing Penguin and just a great villain in the show. So yeah, that earned him the number 1 spot as the best villain in all of Gotham, the TV series. But yeah, he's just so he's entertaining. Like all his plot lines, just interactions with other characters are great. He's funny. He definitely is funny. Like he has his funny moments. They're mostly threatening moments that are why it's funny. But yeah, like how when he becomes Penguin, then he's no longer Penguin and just wants to be a normal guy, but then he gets dragged into being Penguin again is good. And yeah, he's just a great villain throughout the show, and that earned him the number one spot on this list. So this is Grand Admiral Thrawn signing off, and I encourage you to watch Gotham if you haven't.